Okay, we're ready to begin. Coach Campbell will make his opening comments, and then we will take questions. Please raise your hand, and we'll get a mic to you.
Well, just super excited and grateful that we get a chance to compete Monday night for a chance to go to a Final Four, and just to have another practice with this group of players and be able to just, continue this journey that's been magical and special.
Okay, we'll start here on the left, second row.
Stephen Johnson, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Mark, you got a chance to watch Texas live yesterday. I'm sure you've been digging into the film. Curious, just your first impressions of the Longhorns.
There's not many holes. They're incredible. They have size and great post play. They have depth, really athletic, have one of the best point guards in college basketball. And they're a one seed for a reason. So we're going to have to play a heck of a game. And Coach Vic and his staff obviously do a tremendous job at their system style of play. And so it's going to be a heck of a game, but we got our work cut out.
On the aisle to the left.
Hey, Mark, Danny Davis at the Austin American-Statesman. Just kind of going off that post-play comment, what are your impressions of Taylor Jones and Kyla Oldacre and what they bring to this Texas team?
Oh, incredible. I mean, they got as good a front court as anybody in the country. Taylor Jones is an athletic, strong, versatile post player, and the depth that they have at the post position, they got a lot of big bodies that they can throw at you, but they're a load. They're a load down there. They wear on you, and so that's something that we're going to have to manage and deal with as best we can. Try to keep those kids off the glass and don't let them have deep post positions.
To the left.
Abby Halpin, USA Today. Coach, Gino and Kim Mulkey were very outspoken the other day in their press conferences about the super regional format and how that kind of goes. Do you have any thoughts on what their opinions on it?
No, I'm just been focused on every ounce of energy, trying to figure out how to game plan for Notre Dame, and got 48 hours to try to figure out how to slow down this Texas team.
To the left.
Wasser, Frogs Insider. Coach, how much does that familiarity, having played Texas last year and your first year at TCU when you guys were both members of the Big 12, help, despite the fact there's obviously a lot of new players on both sides?
Yeah, Coach Schaefer, his system and what they do, he doesn't really change it, and he's really good at it. And so it helps to be familiar with the system, but we have a whole new team, and obviously they have new players. So you can look at some film a little bit from last year, but really you're just scrubbing this year's team and trying to figure out what we got to do to have a chance to beat these guys.
To the right.
All the way in the back, Ben Pickman with The Athletic. Todd Golden of Florida was talking about a little bit yesterday how much Randy Bennett meant to him when they get to the Final Four. I guess for you, your time back at St. Mary's, I guess have you heard from Randy throughout this run, and how much did he influence your coaching philosophy, your offensive principles, how you want to run a program, things like that?
Yeah, Randy, I talk to him often, talk to him all throughout March. That's my mentor. That's who, showed me how to run a program. And our principles, a huge part of what we do is based on my time at St. Mary's. Obviously, they're one of the best pick and roll teams in college basketball. And so we've taken that. And then just the culture and how you build programs, and they have such you go back to St. Mary's in the off season, all the former players are there training and working out, and so a huge part of what I do is because of Randy, and I'm thankful that he took me under his wing when I was just getting started in coaching. That was a long time ago, but I was probably 24, 25, and still call him when I got questions and decisions that I need to make, and he just has so much wisdom. And he's such a humble man. I mean, he's been at St. Mary's for 24 years now, I think it is, and has turned down a lot of powerful opportunities. And Todd Golden is a part of that coaching tree and played for Randy. And so I know he's loving getting to watch his former players and former staff kind of blossom.
To the left.
Hey, Mark, Cedric Golden, Austin American Statesman. How important was it for you to get Hailey Van Lith to come in here and run this offense, and how big is the trickle-down effect she brings with her toughness on the court?
Yeah, Hailey's a program changer. She was the perfect piece at the right time with the players we had returning, and the system and style of play that we run, obviously, we're pick and roll based, and you need dynamic playmaking guards. I've known Hailey since she was about 15 and knew how talented she was as a playmaker, and she had never been used in that way. So it was a perfect match. We needed Hailey, and preseason I said our goal is to unleash Hailey Van Lith, and that's come to fruition. And but Hailey's competitive spirit, I think you got to see it at the highest level yesterday on both sides of the court. She was impacting the game. She was defending. I mean, those two guards, Miles Hidalgo, are as good a backcourt as there is in the country, and I think they went 6 for 29. Hailey had a huge part of that. And then on the offensive end, her playmaking skills, especially in the second half, she carried us. And so getting Hailey here truly is a program-changing player. And to do what we need to do in our system, you have to have a dynamic playmaking guard that can manipulate pick and rolls and create the dominoes for us. And so it's been a perfect match. Forever grateful for Hailey. It's just been a really, really fun ride, and we don't want this thing to end yet.
To the right, Brian.
Brianna Aldridge, CBS News Texas. Coach, Coach Vic yesterday talked about how special this is to have two teams representing Texas at this stage. What is it like for you to not only represent Texas, but also we talked about early in the season about having records set at TCU this year with just fan attendance. So how big is this for college fans for Texas?
It's awesome. I mean, you got to, it's the biggest stage in our sport, chance to go to the Final Four, and to play Texas, who's just down the street from us. It's just awesome for our state, because our state has some of the best women's basketball, high school players in the country, incredible coaches in Texas. And it shows that you don't have to leave our state to go compete at the highest level. And I have nothing but great respect for Coach Vic and his program and what he's built and what he's done since he's taken over there. So it's going to be an incredible battle, and excited to go tip off tomorrow night.
Al on the left.
Kirk Bowles from the Houston Chronicle. Mark, can you kind of go back in time a little bit to when you took the TCU job? But how many people told you were crazy to go there, you're never going to win big, and the whole tryout thing? I don't know how many showed up and how many you kept from that tryout thing.
Yep. I don't know how many people know this story, but me and my family, we actually took the job at TCU sight unseen. Had never been to Fort Worth, had never been to TCU's campus. I'm a big man of faith, and this opportunity came about, and the best way to put it, I just had total peace about the opportunity that was in front of us. And so we were at Little Sacramento State and just had the best season in school history there. And somehow Jeremiah Donati found me. And so when I was studying it from afar, I thought TCU was a sleeping giant in women's basketball. And as you just dove into it, it's private, it's 11,000 students, it's small. Fort Worth is this incredible city. Campus is beautiful and resources, and so it's neat. So we took a leap of faith and accepted the job. And my first time on campus was, flew in the day before my press conference. And to see what's transpired, 2 years. It's actually 2 years from today. Last week was my 2 years from when I got hired. And, you had the Underfrog story when we had the injuries. We had 4 walk-ons that came to the tryout that we kept. And that's kind of the reality is in life. You're going to face adversity. You're going to have trials that you got to work through and overcome and navigate. but I think last year laid a foundation of toughness and resilience and fight for our program that's carried over now that we added the talent level that we have to the foundation from last year. And that combination is why we're, 34-3. We're in the Elite Eight. And so it was no fun, but I'm thankful for last year, thankful for that journey. And Ella Hamlin is the one underfrog that's still a part of our team and a huge part of it. And so it's been a magical journey these 2 years.
To the front.
Olivia Noni, USA Today. Coach, can you talk a little bit more about the story behind how you met Hailey? Did your paths cross in Washington?
Yeah, so I was associate head coach at University of Oregon, and Hailey was this young prodigy coming up in a small town in eastern Washington, Kashmir, and everybody had heard and knew about Hailey. And so at that time, Oregon, we were rolling and had the #1 team in the country. So we were recruiting Hailey really hard and just developed a great relationship with her and her family. And then you ended up going different ways, over the last 5 years. And I ended up taking my first head job at Sac State, and Hailey went to Louisville. And when she went in the portal then, just reached out when I was at Sac State. Didn't think we could get her, but just, asked the family if they need any help, if they have any questions. And they navigated that process. And then when she went to LSU and ended up in the portal again, that story's pretty neat. Without knowing it, Hailey told her dad that I want to talk to Mark. And at that time, Corey was like, you sure? They just had open tryouts and this season and had to forfeit games. And Hailey said, yeah, I want to talk to Mark. And so I had a chance to talk with Corey and Hailey, and they came out and visited, and the rest is history. So it's just neat. It's a moment that's really come full circle due to relationships that were built many years ago.
Front.
Testing. This is Poppy with USA Today. I read an article on Caitlin Clark last year and learned that it can be hard to coach a superstar.
Yeah.
So what was your coaching approach when you decided to bring in Van Lith?
Hailey's been incredible. I think the journey that she's been on, and for my coaching style and our culture, was a perfect fit. Like she had a major chip on her shoulder. She also had the Olympic opportunity that was in front of her, and so she had to turn the page from her LSU experience quickly and start getting ready for Paris. And then she is the ultimate competitor, ultimate winner. And so we have been attached at the hip. All our film sessions, we do individual meetings together. But she has this incredible basketball IQ, incredible feel for people, and there's this warrior spirit. And so she's able to, in her 9 months, navigate the locker room, build relationships with her teammates. They absolutely love her. And be willing to learn a brand new system, and which she has worked so hard to study it, to figure it out, of what we need from her in order to win. And then she will run through a freaking wall for you while she's trying to do that. And so there's been no difficulty. She has been such a blessing and so fun to navigate this process with. And each player's different, but this Hailey at this time has been incredible.
Our final question to the right.
Hey, Coach, Doug Feinberg, VAP. Can you talk a little about the growth of Sedona? I mean, you had her back in Oregon, I think, a couple of years before, and see what she's doing now for you guys. I guess she's the oldest of the old frogs, so to speak.
Yeah, Sedona it's been 6 years that I've got to, be a part of her and see her grow and develop. I think last night was her most dominant physical game as a post player. She is so skilled. If she was allowed to, she'd love to shoot 15, 17 footers all game. And she's so skilled that she can. But there's also games when you need to give us a low post presence and bang and be physical. And she got to the free throw line 12 times last night, drew 9 fouls, and then competed on both ends of the court. But Sedona's growth, her maturity, her evolution as a player, It's as much as any person that I've ever been around in the college game. And so it's really neat to see that evolution. Same thing, similar to Hailey, Sedona's maturity of that's what's made this whole thing work, you guys. And not just Sedona. So the Hailey, Sedona, Madison trio, the only way the portal will work with these elite talents, they all have to lose themselves and be willing to be all in. And Sedona is the most selfless personality, and she's a superstar, and she's all in. Of however many shots she gets, she doesn't care. Hailey's never asked about how many shots she gets. She doesn't care. Madison Conner doesn't care. The big three, truly find joy in each other's success and winning. And in Sedona, back to you, she has such a humble spirit that way. And it's funny, early on in young people in their college career are in a kind of wrestling match with themselves. These three have let that go. And that's why the magic has happened, and that's why we've been able to do what we've done.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Go Frogs.
Good
Thank
luck
you,
tomorrow.
sir. Thank you.
This one likes to speak first, so you have to tell her.
All right, you get to speak first.
Opening statement?
No.
No, please, no. Opening statement from Sedona.
Yeah, we're just going to go straight to questions. We'll start right here on the second row.
Stephen Johnson, Fort Worth Star Telegram. Sedona, I think you heard most of what Mark was just saying with that last question. What does it mean to you just hear him kind of give that type of praise to you both, what you've been doing on the court and what you've been doing off of it as well, too?
Yeah, I was standing off to the side. Yeah, I mean, Mark is known Mark now for 6 years of my 7-year journey. And so it's been a blessing to, been put across his path in such a unique way, right? He was obviously our assistant at Oregon and had a very strong connection with him. But it was difficult because you kind of tell like he was, destined to break out to be a head coach. And he's so special. He's such an amazing leader. And I just told myself, when I left Oregon, I was like, man, I wish I could be coached by Mark Campbell. He was at Sac State. I went to go visit him and Niara down there when I was out of college and just got to, experience him as a head coach. And just, again, I was like, man, I wish I could be coached by him. I wish I had another chance. And to be blessed with these 2 years with him has been so incredible. And it's an honor. He's been such an amazing leader to me. He's been so patient with me. He knows that he's witnessed my journey for many years. He knows the kind of trauma I've been put through and kind of experienced throughout my college career. And so he's very, very patient with my process, and he has been. And I'm so grateful for him. And he's given me so much room to grow. He's given me so many resources on how to improve my game on and off the court, mentally, physically. And I'll forever be grateful for him. Truly, he is an amazing human, amazing coach. And he is the reason for my career, truly.
Second row right here.
Melissa Treebwasser, Frogs Insider. Everyone's talking about Texas's depth, and obviously a lot has been asked of the three of you guys and the starting five, not just this weekend, but all season. How are you feeling at this point, and how do you kind of push through, I'm sure, kind of the physical toil of a long year?
I feel amazing.
Same.
Great.
Yeah.
We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
No issues.
Yep.
Okay, to the left aisle.
Annie Davis, Austin American Statesman. Sedona, I'm not sure if you remember playing against her at Oregon State. And I think you may have played against her maybe once in high school. But what are your thoughts on Taylor Jones and kind of her game?
Yeah, no, I know Taylor very well. I know her family well. Played against each other, I think, almost maybe 3 times in high school basketball tournaments. And then she was at Oregon State. I was at Oregon. Played her a few times there. And now we get each other in Texas, which I think is really cool. But yeah, Taylor's awesome. She's an amazing girl. Really respect her family. Known them for a long time. They're very, very sweet people and kind people. And it's been really cool, right? She's an amazing player, and it's been fun to match up with her kind of everywhere along my journey. And so I'm excited. It's going to be a battle down there. And also, I've been going on, we kind of haven't seen each other in quite a long time, right? But I've worked really hard and grown my game, and I know that she has. And so it's the same matchup, but much different because we've grown into completely different players.
Al to the right.
Hey, Thomas Ashworth at thehill.com. Madison, when you think about that first contact that you had with TCU and the coaching staff, can you just kind of talk about or remember that first interaction, first impression, and just kind of how you've grown since then, kind of forming into this player that you are this year?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I had a copy and paste message to Mark that said, like, hey, thanks for reaching out, but I think I'm going to go in a different way. And my high school coach called me right before I sent that text, and he was like, just give him a chance. Like, listen to him. Give him a call and just hear what he has to say. You don't have to go there, whatever. So he FaceTimed me the first time we talked, and it was just a great conversation. He was extremely humble. He was like, to be honest, like, I have nothing really to offer you but an opportunity. He knew a whole bunch about my game. He'd studied my game, things that I honestly didn't even know about myself because I was put in such a box at my previous school that, like, he was telling me things that he could see in me. And I talked to him, and then I called one of my former teammates at Arizona because she played for him when he was an assistant coach at Oregon. She was like, bro, you have to go there. So I went on my visit, and him and the staff are just such humble people. They were trying to sell a 1-17 program. It wasn't really a sell. There was no money. It was no nothing. It was just an opportunity, and I can see you as a person and as a player, and we're going to develop you here. We're going to create something great. And we watched film on my visit. We talked. Sedona was actually on my visit when I was there as well, and me and her had multiple conversations, and we were like, let's do something. And I just took a leap of faith in myself and in the staff, and I think it's turned out pretty good so far. So, yeah.
To the right.
Katie Barnes, ESPN for Hailey. Last year, I think a lot of people said a lot of things very publicly, kind of doubting you and whether or not you'd sit here again and whether or not you could have the kind of game that you had last night. And so considering everything that you've been through over the past year, what do you have to say to those who ever doubted you?
I don't even have anything to say. Their opinions never cashed with me. They can take their 2 cents to the bank. You like that one?
That's a good one. Oh, that was so savage of you.
Yeah.
Got him.
No. Okay, let me be
so
serious.
savage.
No. I mean, like, it really doesn't matter. It never mattered. A lot of people have opinions, and social media has basically given a lot of people who don't know what they're talking about a platform to share their thoughts. And that's not, it just is what it is. It's real life, and I'm praying for them, man. Hope their life is good. That's what I have to say.
Facts, yeah.
To the far right.
Newey Scruggs, NBC5 in Dallas. Question for all three ladies. Have you allowed yourself to think about the opportunity that you could be cutting down the nets and going to the Final Four in Florida?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it a lot. Obviously, we have a huge game to win. So super excited to get to compete on that stage against 2 Texas schools, which is actually really cool, and we haven't played each other at all this year yet. So I think, the narrative around this game is cool, and I'm happy to be a part of it. But, you definitely know what you're fighting for, and I feel something in my heart for these girls, and like I said last game, like, I'm gonna go out there and play as hard as I can. I'm gonna give everything I have. If I have to dive on every ball, I'll do it if it'll get us an extra possession. So that's my mentality, and I'm really hoping to advance.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's really cool too how this shift in Big 12 basketball and how it's been Baylor, Texas for so many years. Watched Baylor, Texas growing up, right, being from Austin. And those are the 2 powerhouses, right? And now being a part of the shift and seeing it, beating Baylor 3 times this year, and there's a complete overturn of power in the Big 12, and kind of dominated and made it known that we're the #1 team in the Big 12. And it'll be kind of cool. It's a great challenge, right? Old Big 12 team, big champions, to go up against them. They're an amazing team. But yeah, we thought about it too at the Big 12 tournament, right? It's in my head of like, man, how special would that feeling be? standing on the stage with these girls and these coaches and Mark and just celebrating in this. There's so much we have been through as people, as individuals, but as a team, so much work we've done. And of course, you think about it, but you know how much it takes in order to get there and how it's going to be an absolute street fight tomorrow.
Going to the aisle to the left.
Kurt Bowles from the Houston Chronicle. Obviously, you girls are way too uptight. Need to loosen up a little bit. Sedona, if you can go back, you mentioned trauma in your life, and it's been very public for you. Growing up in the Austin area, signing with Texas, can you go back and just kind of look at those feelings and your departure and how that shaped you as a person?
Yeah, I don't think I really realized how much it had affected me until probably this year, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I'm from Austin, raised in Austin, committed in 8th grade. And Texas was my dream school, 40 minutes away from where I grew up. And it was my family, and I won't really go into details in it because it's a long time ago, and there are things if you want to go research it. But yeah, I mean, it was a very, very difficult year for me as a young woman, as a young player, to be thinking I was a part of a family and to be treated in the way that I was. And so, I held a lot in my heart and my soul that I didn't know that I was carrying around for a long time, and I didn't really, you don't really realize how much trauma can affect you until, all of a sudden you're hit with a wall, and then it's like, oh man, this has been weighing me down for a very long time. And so, the staff isn't there, but I have so much respect for Vic and what he's done with the program. I think he's an amazing coach, and I have no hard feelings. I've healed from it. It's shaped me into a better person. I'm so grateful. I truly am for that year and for where it led me. To go to Oregon, to leave college and to come here, there's nothing else that could have led me here and taught me so many valuable lessons and shaped me into the person I am today without going through those, atrocities that I went through.
To the left.
Cedric Golden, Austin American Statesman. Hailey is a member of Louisville. You went to Austin and you guys eliminated the Longhorns. What do you remember about that experience? And because there are some of the same players you'll be facing, and what makes them a tough matchup in the backcourt?
What I remember, mostly we didn't get a host that year. We had to go into Texas. They were supposed to beat us by a lot. And they, it was kind of like Louisville DNA came out there where we just scrapped out on defense, and I think we ended up winning by double digits at least. But it was a great game. We played really well. I think, Rory might have got hurt at some point in that game, so she didn't play the whole game. But all I remember, it was a great win for us. We pulled off an upset on their home court, which was huge. And that Louisville team that I was a part of, nobody thought we were going to be anything. We weren't ranked at the end of the year. We obviously didn't get a host. Everyone had us losing. So that's kind of what I remember. But this year, they're a completely different team from the last time I played them. But I think, they're elite defensively. Their backcourt, they have a lot of athletic, strong guards who can do different things. They're versatile. They have a lot of different personnel. So personnel and knowing the scout will be huge. And at the end of the day, the theme of the NCAA tournament is toughness. And so they're going to be tough. We know they're going to be tough. They have that DNA in them. So, we're going to have to match that.
Front right.
Nick Geramonti, TCU on SI. Hailey, I read that your left leg is like a half inch shorter than your right. Is it tougher
That's true.
to fade one way or the other, or drive one way or the other? With that?
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
It's a long story, you guys. I don't share everything with you. Okay. No, it is, and it does. It actually has. There's a lot of physiological issues that I deal with because of it. My whole right side is stronger and bigger. You can my hand is bigger, my foot is bigger, my quad is bigger. You can see it if you really look at me, if you're around me a lot. And yes, I definitely always prefer to plant off my right leg. I think fading to my left is a lot more comfortable because, the leg is shorter, so it probably doesn't really touch the ground as much. Just weird things like that. But yes, that's true, and I deal with it every day. But at this point in my career, I'm older, and I know how to manage my body in that way.
Is that why you're clumsy?
Yeah, bro.
What?
Is that why you're so clumsy?
I'm not clumsy.
What are you talking about? You
Any
just
additional questions?
just fell into the chair.
He's sick of you guys, so just be
You
quiet.
didn't tell us we were lopsided, bro.
Okay, ladies, thank you.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
apologize for these.
Sorry. Can you walk? Peg leg.